Listen carefully, and do not let a single word slip by without full attention, for what I am about to share is not mere philosophy, nor idle motivation, nor the fleeting promise of easy success. What I am about to share is the very framework by which human destiny is shaped, the timeless, immutable laws that govern thought, emotion, and achievement. Understand this: your external world is nothing more than the reflection of your inner world. Every frustration, every missed opportunity, every fleeting triumph, every crushing defeat is born first in the mind. And if you would command the future, if you would seize the success that others only dream of, you must first conquer the kingdom within, your thoughts, your emotions, your will. Observe carefully the state of most men and women today. They are slaves not of circumstance but of impulse. They react before they think. They allow anger to dictate action, doubt to dictate hesitation, fear to dictate surrender. They live their lives as though tossed upon a stormy sea, carried by every whim of emotion, every ripple of circumstance. And yet, the mind that conquers itself, that commands its own thoughts, is not tossed. It is a fortress. It is a lighthouse in the storm. It is the lever by which the most impossible realities are moved. I speak now of emotional detachment, but hear me well. Detachment does not mean indifference. Detachment means clarity. Detachment means observing your emotions, understanding them, and choosing your response rather than surrendering to reaction. The difference is profound. The man who reacts to insult with anger, who reacts to adversity with despair, who reacts to fear with hesitation, forfeits his power. But the man who pauses, who breathes, who sees the truth beneath the surface, commands the very energy that would destroy him. This is mastery. This is sovereignty over the self. This is the foundation upon which all extraordinary achievement is built. Consider for a moment the principle of definiteness of purpose. The man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the currents take him. He cannot command his mind, for he has no destination toward which to steer it. He cannot harness his emotions, for they lack a channel in which to flow. But the man with a clear purpose, a burning goal, a vision that cannot be extinguished, wields his mind as a blade wields steel. Every thought, every decision, every action bends toward that purpose, and purpose aligned with emotional discipline becomes irresistible. Let us speak of self-discipline, the muscle by which all mastery is exercised. Self-discipline is not an abstract ideal. It is not moralizing. It is the practice of action in the presence of desire to avoid action, the choice of focus when distraction beckons, the persistence of effort when the world tempts surrender. The undisciplined mind is weak. It wanders. The disciplined mind is unbreakable. It commands the circumstances, bending obstacles into stepping stones. You will never achieve the future you desire without first exercising relentless control over your daily habits, for it is in the repetition of small, deliberate actions that destiny is forged. Now, understand the principle of autosuggestion, the mechanism by which thought becomes reality. Your mind absorbs every influence you allow to pass through it. Your repeated thoughts become beliefs. Your beliefs shape your decisions. Your decision create action. Your action determine results. If you wish to attract the life you desire, you must flood your consciousness with precise, purposeful thoughts. You must speak to yourself as a mentor, as a commander, as the architect of your own destiny. If doubt whispers, counter it with faith. If fear rises, counter it with courage. If negativity presses, counter it with clarity. This is not optional. This is the law by which the universe bends. Pause for a moment and see the connection. Emotional detachment allows you to observe. Self-discipline allows you to act deliberately. Autosuggestion programs the mind for victory. Combined, they form an unstoppable engine of achievement. But mastery is not instantaneous. It is earned. It is forged in the crucible of deliberate effort. It is achieved by those willing to do what others will not, by those willing to govern themselves, to structure their days, to command their thoughts with precision, to act with courage in the face of fear. And so I speak now of the 30-day routine, not as a gimmick, not as a promise of sudden transformation, but as a practical framework for embedding mastery into your very being. 30 days of deliberate action, of conscious choice, of relentless discipline, will shift your internal state. And when your internal state shifts, the external world cannot help but respond. The principles are simple but profound. Day 1 through 10. Observation and awareness. Watch your thoughts, track your emotions. See where your mind wanders. Recognize every impulse, every reaction, every habitual thought. Begin the practice of pause. Pause before you act. Pause before you speak. Pause before you surrender to emotion. This is the foundation. Without awareness, discipline is impossible. Day 11 through 20. Deliberate control and action. Begin to redirect thought. Choose focus. Apply self-discipline to daily tasks. Begin journaling your mental state. Speak aloud to yourself the statements that reinforce purpose, courage, and confidence. Begin to cultivate calmness in adversity. Begin to command your mind as a general commands an army. You will feel resistance. You will feel the weight of old habits. Welcome it. Each moment of resistance overcome strengthens the fortress of your mind. Day 21 through 30. Integration and mastery. Begin to act without hesitation. Apply clarity in all decisions. Let emotional detachment become second nature. Let purpose drive every thought and every action. Begin to visualize your desired future as already present. Begin to live in the state of inevitable success. Your actions will now reflect your internal mastery. The world will respond. Opportunity will align. Influence will grow. Confidence will radiate. And above all, you will no longer be swayed by circumstance, opinion, or fear. You will have become unstoppable. Remember this, and let it reverberate in your mind. If you command your thoughts, you command your future. If you master your emotions, you master your destiny. If you act with purpose, you act with power. There is no force outside you that can supersede the command of a disciplined, focused, sovereign mind. And now let us step further. Understand that mastery is eternal vigilance. A single lapse in discipline, a single surrender to impulse, a single indulgence of fear can undo weeks, months, or years of progress. This is why the practice must be daily, relentless, unwavering. Each morning, affirm your purpose. Each day, monitor your thoughts. Each night, reflect on your actions. Build this habit as the foundation of your life, and the universe itself will conspire to bring your desires into manifestation. You are now standing at the threshold. 30 days of deliberate mastery awaits you. You have been given the map, the principles, the guidance. The journey is yours to take. The future you desire, the life you imagine, the confidence you crave, lies within reach, not in luck, not in circumstance, not in the approval of others, but within your mind, your choices, your discipline, your courage. Step forward, take control, claim your power. And in 30 days, you will not be the person you are today. You will be a force of purpose, focus, and unstoppable achievement. Rise, command yourself, conquer your mind, and watch as the world bends to the resolve of a mind mastered. Now listen closely, for the greatest obstacle to mastery is not circumstance, not lack of opportunity, not the opinions of others. The greatest obstacle is the mind itself, the habitual patterns of thought that have ruled your life without consent, the automatic reactions that betray your purpose, the silent fears that have dictated your choices. These are the chains that bind ordinary men and women to mediocrity. And yet recognize this, the chains are entirely within your power to break. They exist only as long as you allow them to exist. They vanish the moment you step into the light of conscious awareness. Consider the man who allows anger to govern his actions. A word spoken carelessly, a slight perceived, a frustration encountered, and immediately his mind is seized. Reason departs, judgment clouds. Decisions are made in the fire of emotion, and the consequences are inevitable. Regret, lost opportunity, fractured relationships, diminished influence. But the man who masters detachment observes the rising storm of anger, acknowledges its presence, and deliberately chooses his response. He transforms energy that would have destroyed him into clarity, into strategy, into purposeful action. This is power. This is sovereignty over circumstance. This is the first step in creating a life unconstrained by chaos. And it is here that we introduce the principle I call the law of mental neutrality. The mind that remains neutral in the presence of provocation is the mind that commands its environment. Do not mistake neutrality for passivity. Neutrality is the mastery of response. It is the conscious decision to engage with life from a position of inner strength rather than external reaction. You see, every human being is faced with a choice in every moment, to react automatically or to respond deliberately. Reaction is the domain of the weak. Response is the weapon of the strong. The difference between them determines the course of your life. Let us examine historical figures who exemplified this principle. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who endured insult, betrayal, and national crisis with patience that defied ordinary understanding. Think of Winston Churchill, whose calm clarity in the darkest hours of war inspired a nation and altered the course of history. Their power did not come from circumstance. It came from mastery of the inner world, from the ability to remain composed when chaos threatened to consume them, from the deliberate shaping of thought and emotion into instruments of purpose. Now, let us descend from the heights of history to the practical ground of your life. Consider the relationships you have, the work you do, the ambitions you hold. In every interaction, in every decision, the principle of emotional detachment and disciplined thought applies. When a colleague criticizes unfairly, when a customer complains, when a friend disappoints, when a market shifts unexpectedly, how do you respond? Do you react with fear, resentment, or frustration? Or do you observe, understand, and act with clarity and purpose? This is where mental discipline becomes the engine of achievement. To cultivate this discipline, begin with the exercise of conscious pause. I will say it again, for it is of supreme importance. Pause. Pause before speaking. Pause before acting. Pause before surrendering to emotion. Let the rising tide of reaction meet the dam of your awareness. Observe it, understand it, and choose your action deliberately. Practice this daily, in small moments and large. The world may rush, may provoke, may demand, but the sovereign mind is never hurried, never flustered, never overpowered. It acts in accordance with principle, not impulse. And now, consider the principle of accurate thinking. Accurate thinking is the cornerstone of effective action. It requires that you separate facts from assumptions, reality from imagination, truth from opinion. The emotionally undisciplined mind cannot distinguish between these. It reacts to every rumor, every perception, every fleeting impression. But the disciplined mind sees clearly. It analyzes. It evaluates. It decides based on truth, not illusion. And when combined with purpose and detachment, accurate thinking becomes the sword by which obstacles are cut down and the pathway to success is cleared. Let me give you a practical application. Begin each day by asking, what is true? What is under my control? What is merely opinion, fear, or impulse? Write it down. Examine it. Decide deliberately. When you practice this daily, you begin to notice the subtle ways your mind has been hijacked by false beliefs, doubts, and worries. When you confront them, challenge them, and replace them with truth, your inner world aligns with reality. And reality, when met with discipline and purpose, bends to your will. Now, hear this. Emotional mastery is inseparable from physical habit. The mind and body are inseparable instruments of power. If you permit your body to be undisciplined, laziness, poor health, neglect of energy, your mind will suffer. Conversely, if you exercise self-discipline in the physical sphere through routine, nutrition, activity, and deliberate rest, you fortify the mind's ability to remain focused, detached, and effective. Begin a 30-day routine not only of mental mastery but of bodily discipline. Rise early, exercise deliberately, nourish with intention, rest with purpose. Let the body support the mind as the vessel carries the river. And what of fear? Fear is the silent assassin of potential. It whispers constantly, undermining confidence, sabotaging effort, delaying action. Yet fear is powerless against the disciplined mind. Fear is energy. Energy can be transformed. Observe fear. Name it. Understand its source. Then act in spite of it. Action in the presence of fear converts it into momentum, converts it into courage, converts it into influence. Do this daily. Transform fear into the fuel that drives you forward. Consider also the principle of personal initiative. The world rewards those who do not wait for circumstance, for validation, for permission. The mind that takes initiative is the mind that seizes opportunity, but initiative cannot exist without discipline. It is not rashness. It is not impulse. It is deliberate, calculated action in alignment with purpose, informed by truth, fortified by emotional neutrality. Practice initiative in every small action, every decision, every engagement. In 30 days, the habit of initiative will transform your approach to life. And now, let us expand further into the extraordinary power of vision and imagination. Your mind is not merely a reactionary instrument, it is a creator. The future you desire is first imagined, then believed, then acted upon, then realized. Daily, visualize your future with vivid clarity. See it as already existing. Feel it, hear it. Act as if it is inevitable. The disciplined mind, detached from doubt, focused on purpose, guided by accurate thinking, translates imagination into reality. The 30-day routine becomes not a set of rules, but a laboratory of creation where thought is forged into destiny. And understand this, with every fiber of your being, success is not a gift. It is not an accident. It is not the result of luck, timing, or circumstance. Success is the consequence of mastery, mastery over thought, mastery over emotion, mastery over action, mastery over self. And mastery is achieved through relentless, deliberate practice. The 30-day routine I have described is your initiation. Treat it seriously. Treat it as sacred. Treat it as the forge upon which your future will be hammered into being. Now, imagine yourself rising before dawn, the world still cloaked in silence, untouched by the noise and distraction that will later fill the day. This is your sanctuary. This is the moment where champions are forged. The body still sleeps, but the mind is awake, and the mind, not circumstance, will determine the day. Here, in this sacred hour, you confront yourself, not the mask you show the world, not the roles you play for others, but the raw, unpolished self. You confront fear, doubt, laziness, indecision. You name each weakness as it arises, and then, like a master craftsman, you carve it away. Start with the exercise of thought sovereignty. For 10 minutes, sit in absolute stillness. Breathe deliberately. Observe each thought as it arises, not with judgment, not with resistance, but with clarity. Note how easily the mind wanders, how quickly fear, anger, and anxiety attempt to assert dominion. And now, in this stillness, declare, I am the master of my thoughts. They do not rule me. I rule them. Speak it aloud. Speak it with conviction. Feel the weight of authority in your chest. Each repetition strengthens the neural pathways of control. Each declaration anchors your sovereignty over mind and circumstance. Then, move to the exercise of emotional cataloging. Take every feeling that surfaces resentment, envy, frustration, pride, worry, and classify it. Is it constructive or destructive? Does it serve my purpose or does it weaken me? If it is destructive, transform it. Convert fear into courage, resentment into understanding, anxiety into strategic energy. This is the alchemy of emotional mastery. Few men understand it, fewer practice it, and yet it is the key to attaining the untouchable calm and focus of the truly successful. Next, commit yourself to the exercise of precise mental visualization. Not vague daydreaming, not idle wishful thinking, but structured, vivid creation of your future. Picture the goal in exact detail. The sights, the sounds, the environment, the emotions. Place yourself within the scene not as a spectator, but as an active participant. Feel the success as if it is already yours. Repeat this each morning and each night. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between vividly imagined reality and present reality when emotion and clarity are involved. You are wiring your destiny with the architecture of thought. Then, take the exercise of deliberate action. Identify the single task, the one initiative that moves you closer to your ultimate goal. Execute it with unwavering focus, regardless of fear, doubt, or distraction. Repeat this every day. Momentum is the reward of consistent, deliberate action. It accumulates silently, invisibly, until suddenly it manifests as unstoppable progress. The disciplined mind acts while others deliberate. The detached mind acts while others react. The successful mind acts while others delay. And now consider the principle of deliberate isolation. To master thought and emotion, one must occasionally withdraw from the endless clamor of opinions, social pressure, and external validation. You must carve time for solitude, reflection, and focus. In these intervals, you become acquainted with the true architecture of your mind. You confront your illusions, refine your purpose, and emerge stronger, clearer, and more capable than before. This is not avoidance, it is preparation. It is the sharpening of the sword in anticipation of battle. Let us reflect upon the stories of those who mastered themselves. Thomas Edison faced thousands of failures before illuminating the world. Each failure could have provoked despair, anger, or self-pity. But Edison detached himself from emotional reaction, analyzed each failure, and converted it into knowledge. His mind, disciplined and clear, turned repeated setbacks into a single, unstoppable victory. Or consider Helen Keller, deaf and blind, who conquered isolation and limitation through mastery over mind and emotion, ultimately influencing millions with her vision and courage. The world bends not to circumstance, it bends to mastery. And now, let me speak of the unseen force that governs all success, mental focus. Every human being has precisely the same 24 hours, the same opportunities for thought, the same capacity for action. What distinguishes the great from the ordinary is the ability to focus the mind like a laser beam upon a single objective, to let nothing dilute it, to let nothing fragment it. Emotional detachment is the foundation of this focus. The mind, free from reaction, fear, and distraction, becomes a magnet for opportunity. It attracts ideas, alliances, and solutions with uncanny precision. Here is the truth that few will tell you. Success is a reflection of inner mastery. The marketplace, the competition, the economy, and circumstance matter little compared to the condition of your mind. If your thoughts are disciplined, clear, and unwavering, you will navigate adversity with calm and ingenuity. If your emotions are detached, balanced, and purpose-driven, you will influence others without effort and inspire loyalty without demand. If your actions are deliberate, consistent, and aligned with your highest vision, nothing in the world can stop you. And now, in the final stages of this 30-day transformative routine, let us add the exercise of daily evaluation. Each evening, review the day. Where did I act from fear or reaction? Where did I act from clarity and purpose? What lessons have I learned? Where did I succeed in maintaining detachment and focus? Document these insights. Repeat them, refine them. This is the mirror that reveals the true progress of the mind, the compass that ensures you remain on the path of mastery. And as you emerge from this routine, understand this: the power of emotional detachment, mental discipline, and inner mastery is not temporary, it is permanent. It becomes the lens through which all life is perceived, the engine that drives all action, the source of unstoppable confidence and influence. With this mastery, you will attract opportunity, not by chance, but by deliberate design. You will influence, not by force, but by alignment. You will achieve, not by luck, but by the immutable laws of cause and effect applied with unwavering precision. And so, I leave you with this imperative: take command of your mind, take command of your emotions, take command of your actions, for in this command lies your destiny, your power, your life. Nothing external can stop you once the inner fortress is secured. The future you desire is not a dream, it is a decision. Make that decision today and act upon it relentlessly. For the mind that is mastered is the world conquered. The heart that is disciplined is the life fulfilled. The individual who is detached and deliberate is unstoppable. Now hear me, for this is the moment where ordinary thought dissolves and greatness is born. You stand at the threshold, not of circumstance, not of opportunity, but of your own limitless mind. Behind you lies hesitation, distraction, fear, indecision, the ghosts of every "I can't" you have ever allowed to whisper in your ear. But in front of you stretches the uncharted landscape of power, influence, and achievement, waiting only for the one who dares to command themselves fully. Understand this truth: the world does not grant success. It cannot. It has no allegiance to desire, to hope, or to wishful thinking. The world responds only to power, the power you cultivate within, in silence, in solitude, in relentless discipline, in mastery over your own thoughts. Every great man, every great woman, every force of history that moved mountains started here in this invisible, untouchable world of inner command. And it is here that you must first conquer, before the outer world bends in your favor. Embrace the fire of emotional detachment. Do not mistake detachment for coldness. It is not the absence of feeling, it is the absence of reaction. It is the ability to observe, to measure, to choose, rather than be swept away by every wind of circumstance or opinion. Those who react are slaves. Those who observe, analyze, and act deliberately are rulers. Do you wish to rule your destiny or to be pushed about like a leaf in a storm? Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide with unwavering clarity. And hear this, mental discipline is not a luxury. It is your lifeline. Each thought you permit, each feeling you harbor, either builds the citadel of your power or erodes it. You will be betrayed by unguarded thought long before the world challenges your resolve. You will fail through indulgence in fleeting emotions long before external circumstance strikes. Therefore, command your mind as a general commands his army. Every thought, every plan, every feeling must have purpose. Let chaos reside only in the minds of those who surrender to it. You are not one of them. Picture this, a life where fear no longer dictates your choices, where doubt is reduced to an echo in a chamber of your confidence, where hesitation is replaced with decisive action every day without exception. This is the life of unstoppable confidence. This is the life of absolute mental command. This is the life you are capable of if and only if you are willing to take total responsibility for your inner world. Now, I ask you, will you allow petty frustrations, minor slights, or the opinions of the unprepared to shape your actions? Will you surrender the reins of your life to external circumstance? Or will you rise, unshaken, unrelenting, and seize the power that has always been yours? The choice is yours, but let there be no illusion. The world respects decisiveness. It bows to courage. It yields to those who refuse to be governed by fear, by reaction, or by weakness. Today, begin the 30-day routine, not as a trial, not as an experiment, not as a casual exercise, but as a declaration that you are the master of your thoughts, the commander of your emotions, the architect of your destiny. Each morning, wake with purpose. Each evening, reflect with precision. Every thought is deliberate. Every action is intentional. Every emotion is harnessed. Every word is aligned with your vision. And slowly, imperceptibly at first, but with unstoppable momentum, the world will bend. Opportunity will seek you. Influence will gravitate toward you. Success will manifest not by luck, not by chance, but by the irreversible law of deliberate, disciplined mastery over mind and spirit. And now, feel it in your bones, the power of detachment, the clarity of focus, the certainty of purpose. Let it rise in you. Let it consume the hesitation, the fear, the weakness. Let it surge like a wave through every fiber of your being. This is not motivation. This is not hope. This is truth made manifest. The individual who masters their inner world cannot be stopped. Nothing external can break them. No setback can derail them. No opinion can sway them. Their mind is a fortress, their heart a compass, their will unshakable. So rise now and act. Not tomorrow, not later, not when conditions are perfect. Act now. Command your mind now. Discipline your emotions now. Choose your thoughts now. Create your life now. For there is no other moment more powerful, no other opportunity more decisive, no other force more unstoppable than the one that arises when a human being seizes absolute control over their inner world. And when you do, when you finally embrace this truth, you will discover the life you once imagined is not a distant dream. It is not a fantasy. It is the inevitable consequence of mastery. The future you desire is yours, and it waits only for your courage, your discipline, your unwavering command. Let this be the day you step into that power. Let this be the moment your mind declares, I am the master. I am the captain. I am unstoppable. Rise, command, conquer. Your destiny awaits, and nothing in the universe can stop the one who masters themselves. You must understand something now and never forget it. The mind, your mind, is both the battlefield and the prize. Every great achievement in history was first imagined, then disciplined, then executed. And the first victory always is over yourself. Do not be deceived by the loud distractions of the world, by the endless opinions of those who wander aimlessly through life. They have surrendered their greatest power, the ability to govern their own thoughts. Emotional detachment is the gateway. It is not a denial of life, it is a command of life. It allows you to observe events as they unfold without surrendering your will to chaos. You may encounter insults, setbacks, or betrayals, but these are merely opportunities to test the strength of your inner citadel. The untrained mind reacts, the disciplined mind responds. One is at the mercy of circumstance. The other is the author of destiny. Think about every person you admire, every leader who has carved their name into history. What sets them apart is not circumstance, not fortune, not the ease of their path. It is self-control, mental discipline, and unwavering focus. They did not allow the world to dictate their feelings. They did not permit the opinions of others to dilute their determination. They mastered themselves, and mastery over the self is mastery over the world. Now, visualize the 30-day journey that I prescribe, not as a routine, not as a plan, but as an unshakable commitment to the development of your inner authority. Each day, you will awaken with a declaration. I am the master of my mind. I will think deliberately. I will act with intention. I will allow no thought, no emotion, no impulse to control me without my command. Let this be the drumbeat of your life. The first principle to internalize is definiteness of purpose. You must know with absolute clarity what you are moving toward. A vague aim produces a weak mind. A definite purpose produces power. It gives focus to your thought, alignment to your emotions, and energy to your actions. Your purpose must dominate every waking moment. If it does not, you allow distraction, fear, and indecision to reign. Next comes self-discipline, the relentless training of your mind and your habits. Without it, purpose is a ship without a rudder. Discipline does not demand harshness. It demands consistency. Small, repeated acts of control accumulate into monumental strength. Each day you will confront moments of temptation, laziness, or irritation, and each time you must respond deliberately, not react. In this lies the hidden law of accumulation. Small victories over self compound into unstoppable power. Autosuggestion, the conscious shaping of your subconscious mind, is the next weapon in your arsenal. The thoughts you repeat, the images you entertain, the beliefs you hold in your imagination, they are the architects of your destiny. Speak to yourself with precision. Feed your mind with clarity, confidence, and vision. Let every phrase, every affirmation, every mental rehearsal reinforce the life you are determined to create. Then comes mastery over emotion. Recognize the fleeting nature of anger, envy, fear, and despair. These are the enemies of deliberate action. Do not suppress them, but do not obey them either. Observe them, measure them, and allow only those emotions that serve your purpose to inhabit your consciousness. A man who is undisturbed by insult, unshaken by setback, and unafraid of failure commands an invisible army. He is unstoppable. Accurate thinking follows naturally. Separate fact from fiction. Analyze every circumstance with ruthless honesty. Discard rumor, assumption, and bias. Decision-making rooted in clear perception is a force multiplier. The individual who thinks accurately sees opportunity where others see obstacle, sees solution where others see problem, sees victory where others see defeat. And now, understand this, the law of mental neutrality. This is the silent force of power that allows you to observe, to measure, and to act with wisdom rather than impulse. When chaos erupts, when the world shakes, the neutral mind does not panic. It does not waste energy in reaction. It calculates, adapts, and conquers. To cultivate neutrality is to harness the ocean beneath the storm, the hidden current that carries the disciplined mind toward its objective, while the untrained are drowned by turbulence. You must integrate all of these principles in unified practice. Definiteness of purpose, self-discipline, autosuggestion, mastery over emotion, accurate thinking, mental neutrality, they are not separate tools. They are a single machine, an engine of destiny that can propel you through the fiercest trials, over the highest obstacles, and into the life you are capable of achieving. Do you feel the weight of this responsibility? Good. Let it sink into your consciousness. There is no greater burden than self-mastery, but no greater liberation. Freedom is not external, it is internal. Control is not given, it is taken. Success is not a gift, it is the inevitable result of deliberate, disciplined thought and action. Now, prepare yourself, for the next stage is action. Your mind will resist, your emotions will rebel, the world will conspire to test your commitment, and this is exactly as it should be. Every challenge is a crucible, and only in the crucible is the true strength of your discipline forged. Each refusal to react impulsively, each moment of deliberate choice, each act of mental courage is a strike of the hammer upon the anvil of your destiny. You are not here to play small. You are not here to drift through life like a leaf upon the wind. You are here to conquer. You are here to command. You are here to sculpt your inner world into a fortress from which the life you desire emerges inevitable and unstoppable. And so I say to you, begin now. Begin with thought, begin with observation, begin with small acts of discipline. Let every morning be an invocation of purpose. Let every evening be a review of mastery. Let every thought be deliberate. Let every action be intentional. Let every emotion serve your vision. And in 30 days, you will not merely imagine the life you desire, you will inhabit it, breathe it, and command it into reality. Rise, focus, command, master yourself, and the universe will bend to your will. Your mind is the battlefield. Your purpose is your weapon. Your discipline is your armor. And nothing can stop the one who has made themselves unshakable, unstoppable, and undeniably powerful. Do not fool yourself into thinking that mastery comes without effort. Every thought you allow to run unchecked, every impulse you indulge, is a chain binding you to mediocrity. You cannot hope to achieve greatness while submitting to emotional chaos. The mind obeys one master and one master alone, the person who governs it with deliberate choice. Now, visualize the next step. You are faced with criticism, with rejection, with the unpredictable whims of the world. Most men falter, they yield. But you stand unshaken, for you know that your inner state is immune to circumstance. This is the power of detachment, not detachment from life, but detachment from emotional servitude. You observe, you evaluate, and you respond, not react. Each measured response is a seed planted in the soil of influence, power, and ultimate success. Remember this: control over the inner world is the only permanent control. The external world may shift, crumble, or conspire against you, but your mind, disciplined and deliberate, remains a fortress. Let the storms rage, let the critics shout, let adversity strike. You have cultivated the inner calm that makes all obstacles temporary and all victories inevitable. Take this principle further. Every thought you dwell upon shapes your destiny. If you focus on fear, scarcity, or resentment, you create a life that mirrors these limitations. If you focus on purpose, clarity, and deliberate action, you create a life that reflects power, abundance, and achievement. This is the law of mental correspondence. The world without always mirrors the mind within. Command your inner landscape, and the outer world bends accordingly. The disciplined mind also understands timing. The impulsive mind attacks blindly, wastes effort, and invites failure. The master mind waits, observes, and strikes with precision. Patience is not weakness, it is strategy. Detachment does not mean inactivity. It means action guided by intelligence, not reaction guided by emotion. Every great achievement is born from patient, deliberate thought executed at the precise moment. Consider this: how many men have been defeated not by the world but by themselves? They surrendered to fear, let anger dictate their speech, or allowed doubt to paralyze their decisions. You will not. You are prepared to observe, to measure, and to act with clarity. Your mind is a weapon, your emotions are allies, and your thoughts are the architects of a future that cannot fail. Now let me speak plainly. The journey you are on is not easy. It is not comfortable. It will require relentless self-examination, the courage to confront your weaknesses, and the discipline to mold them into strength. But every ounce of effort returns multiplied. Every moment spent mastering yourself compounds into an unstoppable force. And when you reach this state, when your mind is your servant rather than your master, you are untouchable. You are free. You are victorious. Understand this truth. No man is greater than his habitual thoughts. The quality of your mind today determines the quality of your life tomorrow. Guard your mind with vigilance. Feed it with vision, courage, and certainty. Starve it of doubt, fear, and distraction. Repeat to yourself daily, I am the master of my thoughts, I am the master of my life. I command my destiny, and I will not yield to weakness, hesitation, or emotion. Let this mantra reverberate in every corner of your consciousness. You have within you a power waiting to be awakened, a power that can create wealth, influence, relationships, and freedom beyond imagination. But it is dormant until you take complete responsibility for your inner world. Detachment is your tool, discipline is your method, and clarity of thought is your weapon. Combine them, and you are unstoppable. As you move forward, do not allow others to dictate your state. The world is filled with voices eager to sway, to discourage, to distract. Let them speak. You will not listen without deliberation. Let every action you take flow from purpose, not impulse. Let every word you utter be measured, not reactionary. Let every emotion serve your vision, not control it. And in doing so, you will become a force of nature, impervious to the storms that destroy the unprepared. Now, imagine yourself 30 days from now. The habits of deliberate thought have taken root. Emotional chaos has been replaced by calm command. The inner voice of discipline guides every decision. Challenges arise, but you meet them with clarity. Opportunities present themselves, and you act with precision. The world bends to your vision, not by magic, but by law. The law of mental mastery and disciplined action. There is no longer doubt. There is no longer hesitation. There is only action fueled by clarity, focus, and unstoppable purpose. You are the architect of your destiny, the commander of your mind, and the master of your life. So rise. Rise now. Command your thoughts. Discipline your mind. Detach from all that does not serve your purpose. Hold your inner world inviolable. And know this. Success is not a distant dream, it is the inevitable outcome of the mind that refuses to yield. Take this knowledge and act. The world awaits no one. It rewards the disciplined, the deliberate, the unwavering. You are prepared, you are capable, you are unstoppable. This is your time. This is your moment. Step into your power, claim your mind, and manifest the life that was always meant for you. Detachment, discipline, mastery, success. It is all within your grasp. Grasp it now, and let nothing ever break your command again.